The fog had grown almost solid. It crawled along streets, curling around corners and walls, seeping under doorways, pressing against me as if the village itself were breathing. Every street I thought I remembered had shifted overnight. Every alley bent impossibly. Doors had appeared where walls had been, and the shadows lingered, stretching long and unnatural. Pinned to a wooden post in the square was a new note. Rule 4, never speak to the unseen. A chill ran down my spine. The previous rules, don't look back, never follow a shadow, never touch what you find abandoned, had already begun shaping the threads of consequence. But this rule felt heavier, almost alive. I walked down a street that hadn't been there yesterday. A door opened silently into a room, empty of furniture, empty of people, yet a whisper echoed from inside. My name, soft, faint, curling through the fog. I didn't answer. I remembered the note. I couldn't, or the consequence would escalate. The toy rolled past my feet again, its shadow stretching impossibly long. Faint footprints appeared beside it, leading into a narrow alley. Shapes moved in the corners of my vision, too precise to be tricks of the light. Elongated, flickering, twisting figures seemed to watch, judging, waiting. A window rattled violently. I glimpsed movement inside, shadows twisting in impossible ways. The fog thickened around me, curling up my legs, pressing against my chest. Every whisper, every flicker, every faint piano note from yesterday seemed louder, more insistent. The pale woman appeared again, standing silently, clutching something. Her shadows stretched along walls and rooftops, curling around objects, crawling closer. I realized the threads of the previous rules, the broken rules, were converging on her. They were connecting all the events, shadows, toys, reflections, whispers, all quietly intertwining, waiting for the consequence to arrive. I forced myself to keep walking. I didn't speak. I didn't respond to the whispers. I only moved forward, careful, slow, deliberate. The fog thickened further. Shapes twisted closer. Shadows flickered and stretched unnaturally. My chest felt heavy, as if the village itself were pressing on me. The whispers grew louder, layering over themselves. Do not speak, not till it waits, they repeated. The piano note from the corner street played faintly again, dissonant, overlapping. Footsteps echoed, though the streets were empty. I realized with a sudden chill, every small act, every broken rule had created threads. And now they were tightening, ready to pull. I stepped into the square. The fountain shimmered, reflecting not me, but a complex web of shadows, toys, footprints, and whispering shapes. I understood the threads of consequence were no longer subtle. They were connecting, converging, and the village was alive, reacting to every movement, every thought. The fog swirled into the narrow alleyways, curling around corners like fingers. A cat appeared briefly, its eyes glowing unnaturally. It stared at me and a whisper followed. Do you see? They watch. Before I could react, it vanished, leaving only the faint echo of footsteps and a spinning toy. I passed a broken mirror leaning against a wall. My reflection didn't move perfectly. It lagged, blinked at a different time. Shadows inside the mirror twisted independently. I didn't speak. I didn't move my hands too fast. Every instinct screamed to flee, to break the silence, but the rule had to hold. A faint child's laughter echoed from the alley behind me. The shadows there flickered and coiled as if playing. Tiny handprints appeared on the walls, crawling upward like ivy. I kept walking, careful not to look, careful not to speak. Then I saw it, a second toy, smaller, perched atop a broken cart. It tilted as I approached, spinning slightly as though inviting me to touch it. I froze, remembering the previous rule I had already broken. The threads tightened. I didn't touch it. I only stepped past. The pale woman's shadow stretched further, reaching across rooftops, bending physics itself. She didn't move toward me, but the threads of consequence did, pulling everything toward her. Footprints, toys, reflections, and whispers interweaving like threads in a loom. From the edge of my vision, a whisper floated clearly. "You should not speak." I didn't, not yet. The fog thickened around the fountain, curling into spirals. A crow landed on its edge, silent, watching. Its eyes glimmered unnaturally. Tiny whispers tickled my ears, forming words I almost understood, every thread. Every choice, every breath. Connected. I realized this rule wasn't just about speaking. It was about acknowledging the unseen. To break it was to invite threads directly into my reality, and I could feel them tugging at me, slowly tightening. I stepped forward into the square again. The shadows moved faster now, reacting to my steps, intertwining with toys, with whispers, with the fog itself. The village was no longer passive, it was aware. Every street, every door, every broken window was part of it, and I had to survive without speaking. The pale woman's shadow flickered one last time before vanishing into the fog. The threads of all previous broken rules shivered, coiling like serpents ready to strike. I didn't speak. I didn't call out. I walked forward, deeper into the fog, aware that I was walking along threads set by the rules, the broken rules, and the unseen forces guiding them. The fog swirled around me, whispers layered like a chorus. Not yet, not yet, not yet. And I realized, with a cold certainty, that every step I took from here would test me further. Subscribe so you don't miss the plot twist.